I've been living in the Netherlands for more than a year now. I stayed in my previous apartment, it was a furnished apartment. I stayed there for a little over a year and then I needed a change. And then I started actively searching for houses. And now I currently live in an OURDOMAIN apartment. It's an unfurnished apartment. And I actually got this apartment in less than 2 months of actively searching. I have a video where I share 5 tips for finding apartments to rent here in the Netherlands. And in that video, I mentioned that OURDOMAIN is my favorite rental organization for house hunting. I'll leave a link to that video in the video description so you can check it out and hopefully learn a thing or two from those tips. But in this video, I want to share my experience of how I got this nice apartment in just less than 2 months of actively searching. I started actively searching for a new apartment from early December, and in my previous apartment the contract was for minimum of 1 year and 1 year was to be concluded by December, so that was why I started searching so that after that 1 year I can move to my new space. Now during that search I discovered OURDOMAIN amongst many other websites which I shared in that my 5 tips video, so definitely check it out. It was a friend that actually introduced me to OURDOMAIN, told me about the nice apartments that they have and also told me about their process, and I really loved it. So what is so special about OURDOMAIN? What I particularly love about OURDOMAIN is their approach of first come first serve. As you see in the application process, it says apartments are leased on a first come first serve basis. So the way it works is that you go to the location you're interested in. OURDOMAIN has locations in Amsterdam, Diemen and Rotterdam. On each of these locations you can see the available apartments. So for example, here is the Amsterdam location. The ones you see with get notified means it is not available, but you can subscribe for notifications for when it becomes available. But the ones with availability shows that this house is available. By clicking on availability, you can see the rooms of that type of apartment that are available, and by selecting a room you see a summary of the lease information. And when you start your application, you go to a page where you're able to register, or if you're an existing user you can log in, and then you would proceed to the dashboard. The dashboard is where you enter your information and also upload the documents that they require of you. You also continue to a page where you can specify if you are the only applicant or if you'll be moving in with someone, and then you get to the application fee page where you pay an application fee. Think of it as a reservation fee. So the way it works is that when you pay that reservation fee, that apartment is reserved for you and it is unavailable to others, and then they will be able to review your documents and see if you are eligible and hopefully grant you that apartment. One thing I also learned about the Amsterdam location, which I really love, is that they upload their available apartments every Wednesday by 12 p.m. So between 12 p.m. and maybe 10 past or 15 past 12, you can imagine how slow the site will be, because there's everybody there refreshing and trying to see available apartments and apply. Initially I talked about an application fee and how you pay that application fee to temporarily reserve the apartment for you, and that apartment becomes unavailable to others, but I didn't clearly understand that at first. Fun fact, my friend told me about OURDOMAIN, let's say on a day like Thursday. Now I was looking forward to the next Wednesday for the Amsterdam locations. When I got on the website, I actually saw an available 1-bedroom, which is what I was looking for. But I didn't secure the apartment. And the reason for this is, initially I thought that when you click on availability and you are able to log in and you get to the dashboard, then they would reserve that apartment for you. Because I remember when I was there, they actually had a timer at the top of the website. The timer is not there again. I don't know if they have removed it or it's somewhere else, but there was a timer like 30 minutes. So with that 30 minutes, I thought I had a luxury of time to add my information and get the documents. What I failed to realize was that it's until I pay that application fee before they would reserve it for me. So I remember, I think I had like 10 minutes left. I had already uploaded all the necessary documents. Then I got to the application fee side, and what I saw on that page was that this apartment is no longer available, and I still had 10 minutes left based on the timer. So I was kind of shocked. I was surprised. I called the customer care and I was like, hello, I saw this apartment, it was available. I had a 30 minutes timer had not run out yet, and then I couldn't see the apartment anymore. And then that was when they told me that in some cases, the time you click availability, somebody else might click it, so it could be a couple of you on the dashboard, but the system only registers the first person to pay an application fee. Paying the application fee is the reservation and not just going to the dashboard. But also what they told me on the call was that since I had already uploaded my document, if I see another available apartment, I will not have to upload my document again. I can easily click continue, get to the application fee section and pay, and then reserve the apartment. That was definitely encouraging to hear, because I know the next time I see an apartment, I can easily run and pay the application fee. But then I never got to see any available apartments anymore. The following week there was no apartment, the following Wednesday there was no apartment, and so on it was. And then it made me feel like, you know, the first time I actually went on OURDOMAIN to look for an apartment, I saw something that I was interested in and I let it slip from my hands. At this point, I started considering the other locations of OURDOMAIN. I didn't consider Rotterdam, but I started considering Dillion, and I called the customer care and I asked them, what are your scheduled times for uploading apartments on the Dillion website? Is it the same thing as the Amsterdam website of 12 p.m. Wednesday? And then they said that their official day for uploading apartments is the first Monday of the month, which is also 12 p.m. But they said that they would also upload apartments if it is available during the month, maybe somebody leaves. So it was like the official day is Monday, first Monday of the month, but I can also be checking every other day. But for me, my takeaway from there was check every Monday, not just the first Monday of the month. So I was checking every Monday, and then with the Amsterdam location, I was checking every Wednesday. And this was how I kept doing, navigating both locations until I finally found an available apartment. And it was so funny on that day, because what I do is I work from home on Monday and Wednesday, and the reason is very clear. I don't want to be distracted when I'm supposed to be looking for an apartment. So on that specific day, I was working from home. I remember I have my two laptops on my workspace. One of them is my work laptop and the other one is my personal laptop. The personal one on a Monday would be on the Dillion website, on a Wednesday would be on the Amsterdam website. So that was how I was refreshing during noon, It was few minutes past 12. I refreshed, I saw an available apartment, and I immediately closed my office laptop and I focused on my personal laptop. It was like, there is no way I'm going to let somebody get this apartment from me. Then I got to the dashboard. Good thing I already had my documents uploaded, and I was just pressing next until I got to the application fee side, paid the application fee of 100 euros, and that was how I reserved the apartment. Then I got an email, or you've reserved this apartment and everything. And then I remember that after all the documents I uploaded, one document I forgot to upload was my employer statement. Employer statement is a document you usually need if you want to buy a house or rent a house here in Netherlands, and I had not thought about it. But I was really thankful, because if I had needed that document before I could pay my application fee, I would have most likely lost that house. Because an employer statement is something I have to ask my employer, ask my company, hey, I would like this document, I'm about renting an apartment, and hopefully they can get it to me at the earliest 1 day later. In 1 day later, I would have lost this apartment. But thankfully, that was a document that I could upload after the application fee. So I reached out to my company and I got the document and I uploaded it. And then with the OURDOMAIN team, we were able to schedule a move-in date. I was even thinking I'll be able to move in at the 1st of February, but I could only move in on the 8th of February. So which means leaving my previous apartment on the 31st of January, between that period and the 8th of February, I needed to look for a place to put all the things I have acquired, one here being here, and also I had to look for a place where I could lay my head. But that's a different story, and that was actually how I got in. That was my process. You know, when it comes to first come first serve, I really like that, although I know it will not always favor me because people are actively looking for apartments. Like you also saw, somebody came first and they were served first, and I lost that apartment I would have gotten by December. But I really like the process of first come first serve, because I know that once I have gone through the whole stress or competition or finding an available apartment, as soon as I pay, I want to know that this apartment is most likely going to be for me, and it's not like there are 20 of us that you are going to review and then make your selections after, even though 20 of us are actually eligible. I really like the idea of a reservation fee. It's a way for them to play safe, and it's also a way for them to give me peace of mind once I have, made that payment. Fun fact, they didn't sponsor this video, and I feel like I should have told them to sponsor this video because I was going to say nice things about them. But this wasn't sponsored. This is just my personal opinion about the organization. So if you're looking for apartments in Netherlands, definitely consider OURDOMAIN. Their website is on the screen. They have 3 locations, so definitely check around and check from time to time, and also call them to get the updated scheduled times of when they upload the available apartments. apartment. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share with others, and also subscribe, because I share my experiences in this country here a lot, as you can see with my previous videos.